I'm Mike Bradner, and this is the Governor's Conference on Alaska's hopefully many futures. And we're going to talk with Vic Fischer, who was a member of our Constitutional Convention, has been a member of the State Senate, and involved in Alaska policy for, I don't want to say how long. But Vic, tell us, where are we and what are we doing here and what do we really expect as an outcome?
Well, it's one of our conferences on the future of Alaska, and we've had those ever since we started with oil development in Alaska. And I remember there was a Brookings conference on the future of Alaska toward the end of 1969, after we had a first big oil sale, got $900 million, and the Legislative Council brought together a whole bunch of people to sit around and for 4 weekends to discuss the future of Alaska, where do we want to go, how do we get there, how do we spend the money, oil money in the future, what the priorities should be. And over these decades, we've had quite a number of discussions about the future of Alaska. It's never been quite as serious as the current conference, because it's not even a conference, it's a discussion, because we are concerned about the fiscal situation of the state and the deficits facing us. And so this is a phenomenal collection of people from all over Alaska, different levels of involvement, different levels of expertise, who've come together. And the tremendous thing is to have a computer model where one can test different kinds of scenarios, different kinds of revenues, to see what beneficial effects they have, what kind of problems they would create, what downsides there are. And people are learning the potential of bringing in new revenues, recasting existing funds in a way that will meet the future needs.
And those options are things that are put on the table. We may like them, we may not like them, but they're there. They're the choices that we have to discuss.
Right, and the concept, of course, is to open up a discussion with all the people in Alaska. The group here is not making decisions on or recommendations on any particular course. The idea is to work with the rest of Alaskans to share what we have learned, to give them the tools of how to think about the future, and it'll be up to the governor and up to the legislature to make the tough decisions in the years to come.
Well, it seems like it's almost in the context of somebody might say, I don't want to pay an income tax, I don't want to pay sales tax, I don't want to pay any tax, but we have to do something.
Right.
We have to make some choices.
And it's always easier to say, let the other guy pay. Let the oil companies pay, let fisheries and mining or whatever. But it's going to have to be a shared responsibility. You don't want to discourage investment on the one hand. You don't want to put all the burden on the individual Alaskans. You have to think in terms of ability to pay. You don't want to put the burden on the least capable of carrying that burden. So it's a matter of fairness across the board. But again, this group here is not making the decisions, not making recommendations. It's just helping develop the tools and to go out and
arrive at least at a consensus that it's not a bunch of fractured parts of us, it's we.
Right, right. It's very much a matter of Alaskans working together, and hopefully the legislature will understand that, and by the time the legislature and the governor have to act, that there will be an understanding
Some kind of
among the
consensus.
people of what alternatives might be before us.
Vic, we're out of time, but this has been Mike Bradner. This is the Governor's Conference on our many futures, and we've been talking to Vic Fischer about the choices that are in front of us. And Vic, you've been a veteran of Alaska, not politics, but politics in the right sense. And thank you for talking with us.
Thank you, Mike. It's been my privilege to be involved.